What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Friday. We got a beautiful 14-game slate on tap for tonight, and I get it broken down for you with my money six of my favorite plays on the board, 2 pitchers, 3 hitters, and a value batter to put in your lineup. So go ahead and drop a like in the video before we get going. It really helps me out so I can bring these videos to you every single day. Let's try to get over 80 likes on this one. If we can hit that, thank you. Let's get into it, though. Rich Hill is going to be first up at 9,800. Going against San Diego, a great matchup, especially after all the tough matchups he's drawn recently. He's faced off against a tough Seattle lineup, Colorado in Coors Field, a tough Oakland lineup against Milwaukee. So some really tough draws. Atlanta, Milwaukee, he's had some really tough matchups. And this is definitely by far the easiest matchup he's had in a while against the San Diego lineup. He has good BVP against them. They only have a .217 batting average, and he has a 32% K rate against them. So he can definitely get a lot of Ks. He has a 25% K rate on the season, and even last year he had like a 30% K rate. So I think Rich Hill can get a good amount of strikeouts. Like I said, they're only implied 3 runs in this game. San Diego a little bit banged up. Will Myers might be out of the lineup. He's day-to-day. Villanueva, who's been really good against lefties, is out of the lineup. So a really good draw here. Think he'll definitely be in line for the win and get those Ks and upside here at 9,800. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first pitcher. And the second guy is a little bit tough. There's a couple different ways you can go with. I think you can either pay up for Fulte at 11,100, but the price is a little bit steep at that price. So I'm going to go with Dallas Keuchel here. The upside isn't terrific, like his K ability isn't great, but I think against this Angels lineup, he can just make quick work of them like he did a month ago or so at LA. He went 7.2 innings. He had a no-hitter through 7 innings and got 29 DraftKings points. So in this matchup, LA, another team that's banged up, Mike Trout might be back for tonight. But even if he is back, there could be some rust there because he hasn't played since August 1st. So nearly like 25 days out of baseball. He's still questionable for the night, and if he doesn't play, I'll even love Keuchel even more. But this is a really good matchup, just based on everything outside of like Mike Trout. Some easy outs, some K ability. The Angels really struggling against lefties on the season. They have a 178 average against Keuchel and 96 plate appearances. That's including without Trout. It'd probably be a little bit higher with him in there, but his second best outing was that game, like I mentioned, against LA. Earlier this season, he's kind of had some tough games recently, similar to Rich Hill, some tough matchups against Oakland, Seattle. He had a pretty good game against Seattle, 7 innings, only 1 run, but didn't get the win there. So I think he'll have a better shot of getting the win here, like I said. Skaggs is on the mound, I believe, for the Angels on the other side of the mound, and he's kind of been really struggling for the Angels. So I think they could get to him, so he should be able to get some run support. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second pitcher, and that gives you 38.75 remaining per hitter. I think Rich Hill and Keuchel can both go over 20 DraftKings points, and both are matchups, so some safe options with some solid upside. And for my first hitter, I'm going to go with Justin Turner at 4,800. This guy's been scorching hot, like I mentioned a few times recently. He had a 35 bomb against Seattle the other night and 23 against them. He's been getting a lot of double-digit games, and he's hitting those extra base hits, and the power has been back in his bat. We know throughout the whole entire year he was kind of up and down with his health. He had a few injuries, like a back injury, a wrist injury, but now he draws another great matchup here going against a lefty in Clayton Richard, who isn't very good. Turner is 9 for 21 with a double and a home run against them in his career, and he has a .216 ISO and .445 WOBA versus lefties on the year. So he's seen the ball very well against them. Throughout his career, he's been very good against lefties, and this is kind of a park downgrade for Richard, going from San Diego, his home park, to LA, and there is some wind blowing out in LA, so the ball could carry for a guy like Justin Turner, and they have a healthy run total of 4.9 runs, so Turner could get some RBI opportunities and a really good shot, I think, of getting an extra base hit here against Richard. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as one of my premium kind of bats here in the plays. And for my second guy, kind of a value based on how he's priced, Trey Turner at 4,500. going against Jason Vargas, who has been absolutely abysmal against right-handed batters on the season. He's allowing a 416 WOBA to them. And I think Trea Turner can just get on base, and he has that opportunity to actually get a steal against Vargas. He is a left-handed pitcher, so there is some concern with that. But he actually has allowed a good amount of stolen bases this year. I think 8 stolen bases in 14 games, I want to say he started. So a good amount of stolen bases against them. And Trea Turner, he's been very active on the bases against this Mets team. He has 8 stolen bases in 12 games. So they are pretty easy to steal on. Trea Turner has been hitting well the last couple of nights. So I think he can get on base against a guy like Vargas. Turner actually has been hitting better against lefties this year. And some solid hitting conditions, especially for right-handed batters, with 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing to left field. So he does have some pop ability. I believe his ISO is around 170 or 180 against lefties on the season, so he can hit a home run against Vargas, and he can get a stolen base, so that speed-power combo, he'll be at the top of the lineup too, so he can get 5 at-bats against this Mets team. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy, and now we got to go with more value since we paid up for those 2 hitters. Jake Bauers is going to be my first guy up, going against Hector Velasquez here. A really solid matchup from the left side of the plate. Velasquez hasn't been good against lefties, allowing 1.8 home runs per 9 to them, and only has a 13% K rate against them. So that's a big concern with Bauer so far. He has a 25% K rate on the season, so that's kind of been limiting his production. But against a guy like Velasquez, who doesn't generate many strikeouts at all, I think Bauers can get the ball on the bat and show that good power that he has against right-handed pitchers. He has a 207 ISO, not too bad, and a 42% hard hit rate against righties. So I think he can definitely get some power production here in this match. So at 3,600, pretty solid. He's a pretty good prospect. Has some good pop in his bat. Has been kind of going through a rough patch recently, but he might be breaking out of that with 2 hits in last night's game against Kansas City. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. We're going to make sure we get him in the outfield, though, because our next guy is going to be a value first baseman as well. So for my value guy, I'm going to go with another guy that's been turning heads in his first year here, Ryan O'Hearn for the Royals. He's not a great prospect, but he does have some power, some raw power ability. In 16 games so far, the guy's had 5 home runs, so he can definitely hit a home run here. And this is a matchup. It's not like great on paper. Clevenger doesn't allow too many home runs, but he does allow more production to left-handed batters. So I think from the left side of the plate here, with some great hitting conditions, O'Hearn does have the ability to go deep. So he has a 394 ISO versus righties. Very small sample in only 16 games, but still, that's very damn good, obviously, and he's hitting the ball very hard as well. So like I said, the temperatures, hitting conditions, very good. It's going to be 90 degrees and 11-mile-an-hour winds blowing to center field, so the ball will carry pretty well against a guy like Clevenger, who is very inconsistent, though. He can be like a very hit or miss with the stuff. So O'Hearn does have the ability, I think, to go deep. And at 3,500, I think he could be very low owned. When they see the matchup against Clevenger, people might be kind of scared away from that. And is considering like he doesn't allow too many home runs. But like I said, this guy has some raw power. Can definitely get a hold of one and go deep. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy, the money 6. So you got that good stability with guys like Rich Hill, KEUCHEL, Justin Turner, and Trea Turner. Both, I think, are solid, safe like options of production here with good upside. And then you got kind of more dart throws of Bauer and O'Hearn, but they do draw good matchups and good situations to go deep. So that is it for the money 6, though. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to drop a like before you head out. If you got anything out of value and you enjoyed it, was like I said, over 80 likes would be greatly appreciated. And also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to get these plays every single day. And after you hit the subscribe button, you can hit that bell icon next to it to get alerted when I upload my videos every single day. And also, I uploaded a live mock draft yesterday. If you kind of want to see some of my thought process through a snake draft, it was half-point PPR. And then I kind of gave some of my thoughts on players and how to construct your lineups this year and your drafts and stuff like that. So you can go check that out right now. So good luck tonight, guys, on this 14-game slate. And we'll see you back here again next time.